I want to see how you do the Birkin bag thing. I'm not getting a Birkin bag anytime soon. Look at this. These bags are just so hard to get, and it's not even like a real bag, right? It just looks real.
Exactly. Yes. No more gatekeeping.
Wait, that's like that's literally like a model shoot right there.
Keep in mind
No way. Today we have a very amazing episode, and this is not going to be like any other episode we've done before. Today is going to be a showcase with my friend Alim Arazihi. And if you've seen image generation before, think again. The image generation processing has come up to a whole new level. And I want to take you through that today with my friend Alim. He's been able to generate a lot of amazing images using the latest tools like Midjourney and some other tools to get some consistency in characters. And you may have heard a lot of things online about all these different types of tools to make these images. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop right into it. Thank you for joining us, Alim.
I would like to start with one of my favorite tools, which is Midjourney. Right now, they opened the website, so the official midjourney.com website is now open for everyone. I even think it's one of the most simple and best AI image generation tool. That's why I'm going to show you today what we can do with Midjourney to show you how you can create and also apply some different style in a consistent manner. I always recommend to start with very simple prompts like here, movie still. I think movie still is one of the most most used prompts in general.
Wow.
The reason for that is because it gives you very, very high quality images, and you allow the model basically to hallucinate.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
because
interesting.
it's a very short prompt, you get a very high variation of styles and images. And this is exactly what we want if we are starting out in AI image generation, because now you can find some inspiration with prompts that you are using, and you can apply them, right? And we can just start.
So
Let
can you
me
show me
just
that
create.
prompt again? Because I want to see what that looks like. So you said you type in
Yeah,
movie still.
super simple prompt. Movie still. Keep in mind, the shorter the prompt, the more, in most cases, the more variety you get in the images, right?
Wow.
And then we have some very custom parameters here, like the
I
aspect
see.
ratio. We set it
Yes.
to 16:9. Style raw, personalization. These are a lot of features that you can explore inside of Midjourney. And I have set the stylize to 1000, which is a lot. It's the maximum. And I told Midjourney, give me some very pretty images. And this is what I love about Midjourney. You can push the aesthetic to the maximum. And then basically what you can do is remove the randomness by now applying a very specific style. So let's just choose this one here, right? So we can just drag and drop, for example. And then we have some options here. We can use this as an image prompt, as a style reference, character reference, and it's very self-explanatory. So we have this as a style. And now when we create some prompts, right, let's go with a portrait of a character, portrait of a woman. Let's keep it here simple. Let's use an aspect ratio that we would use for a portrait, like vertical aspect ratio.
Wow.
So thankfully, we don't have to wait that long for our images.
So that
And
little
by the way,
paperclip is kind of what brings in that style. So you have a
exactly.
scene. Whoa, look at that second image. So it's like you were on the set and you have pulled in the different colors from that. Oh, that's so amazing.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it's simple, it's still very effective. And I would like to show you what happens when I remove the style reference. Now we have no style reference. The only reference we have is my personalization token, right? Everyone has kind of its own if you rate images. So Midjourney knows what images you like, what styles you like. And yeah, so we're going to see a very, very different output.
Wow.
A little bit more random. Right? So we
Yes.
have some different colors. And here we used below actually this style reference. You can apply this, you can try this out for very, very different use cases. I like to use it for my characters and for my movies. And I would say we choose one character, because what we can do now is we can use these characters actually. We can use new generated images, right? So we can decide any one of these. Let's create some more so we have a little bit more variety. And if you want to get some consistency in characters instead of style, the only thing you do is you now move to the character icon, right? So
Ah,
very, very simple. Now we can portrait of a woman holding some cheese, right?
this is so cool.
And now basically Midjourney will give you a portrait of this woman holding some cheese, right?
Oh
And
my
as you can
gosh.
see, it works really, really, really well. And
Wow.
keep in mind, we can do the same with character reference and with style reference. So we can say,
Whoa.
hey, I want to use this character
Hmm.
with the style that I used before, right? So
Oh,
you
I
can be
see.
very creative and go in different directions.
So all you did was
Just to
drag
show
that
you.
bottom one into that thing. So if you just physically drag it into the prompts area and then hit the little person that looks like a person, that's the style reference you're talking about.
Sorry, no, I used this one as actually as a character reference. I
Oh,
wanted
character
to use
reference.
the
Got it.
paperclip, which is the style reference. Yes, like you
Ah,
said, so it's just drag and drop from here, or you can from your generated images, but you can also upload your own images and use them as a character or style reference.
yeah, that's super handy. And this is really great because I've used Midjourney on what they used to have this thing called Discord. And so when you're using it on there, the problem with Discord is the fact that it's just, you can't do a lot of this manually things that you're normally used to using. And so it's a little bit kind of painful to kind of navigate that realm. And so it's like, now it seems on the website you can actually drag these images up and do these extra things. And so I'm really glad I have you on to kind of help show me this, because this is totally new to me. I didn't even realize. I see the images that people generate, and I see a lot of steps on like this Twitter threads. And it's like 10 steps to do this, and it's like, oh, that's a little too long for me right now. But this is just watching you do it super fast. Wow.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the most powerful features inside of Midjourney are actually the parameters here. So the style
Mm,
reference, character reference. And it was very difficult in Discord because here it's much more visually. You actually see what you're doing.
that's
And in
right.
Discord, it's just text, links, commands. So this is definitely better, way better.
That's great. Whoa, that's really amazing. The first thing that you can do is just, if you want to just start with a blank slate and just do something interesting, you could just do like movie still. Is that what it is? And then just give it a really high creative value. And that will just start to generate just different scenes of movies to kind of get you started. And if you like something, looks like you can just drag that right into that area and then use it as a reference either for a character, for a style. So that means that you'll pull in like the colors and everything in its essence, and you can almost seem like you can have a different perspective in the same scene per se.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of people, especially in my audience, they like having these hyper realistic images that are almost indistinguishable from real images. So what I like to do is I create these iPhone iPhone looking images, these
What?
realistic looking images.
Oh my
And
gosh. Wait,
one thing that
that's
works.
literally like a model shoot right there.
Yeah, it is. And keep in mind, so one
No
thing that you can
way.
also do,
What?
you can.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm happy you like it.
Whoa.
I'm
That's
happy you
completely,
like it.
this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is AI generated, right? Dang.
Yeah.
So how did you get this prompt? How did you look at that girl, all of your images? I could do model shoots without having models.
Yeah, absolutely. And here what you see, I have used the high stylize. 500 is actually very, very high. If you
Whoa.
go with the lower one, it will look even more like an amateur image, right? What we can do is actually use this one as a character reference, as a style reference, sorry, like we did before, because this one here really looks like a painting, like a
Right.
portrait, right?
Yeah, 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 like a movie painting. Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, and we're gonna use this character. again, oh sorry, this character again, like we used before. We can use the same prompt just to see the difference. And now we just hit create, and we should get images that go in this direction. So like these hyper realistic images. And if this doesn't work, we still have the possibility to decide the intensity of the style, right? So I here used style weight, where I choose, all right, I want my style to have a lot of weight on this image. You can do the same for characters, you can do the same for styles. Now we see it looks much more realistic, doesn't look like a painting anymore like before.
Mm.
And it actually applied the style that we used here, as
That's
you can see. And this is how it looked before, right?
Whoa.
Without the style.
Yeah, that's right. It looked like a painting, like somebody shot
Yes,
and they put
exactly.
in things. So now you go from that to like she's now in your actual room as you taking an iPhone photo and she's holding some.
Yeah,
This is scary.
absolutely.
This is so scary. This is scary good, actually. I really, whoa. Oh my God, dude.
So I would say we use this image and now do, so I would say this very image maybe. Let's download this very image. I like it. I will save this one here.
Mhm.
And one thing that I love to do, or well, I would love to show you is how we can change clothes.
Oh,
So
yes. I've
first
been wanting to
thing,
see this.
yeah, first thing we're gonna create some clothes. We can do this here in Midjourney. So very, very simple. Let's say leather jacket, leoprint, in the style of e-commerce.
Oh, I see. That's the key
So
phrases. Interesting. And then so now that we've generated this e-commerce style jacket, let's see what you do.
yeah,
Let's cook,
let's
my
download the
friends.
jacket here.
Let him cook.
I really like leather jackets. So let's head over to colors. Colors is a new model that was published by the creators of Kling AI.
Uh-huh.
Kling AI is a very, very popular video model,
Uh-huh.
and they have released this virtual try-on model where you can basically, they have also some interesting presets here, like Sam Altman. So if you want to try it out with Sam Altman. Right
Whoa.
now, we're gonna try it with our own character that we
Yes.
used. So I'm
Yes.
just gonna drag and drop our character and our clothing.
So literally,
So
what you've done so far is you generated this character, shot it on an iPhone, like made it look like it was shot on an iPhone, right? We started from a movie image to generate this character that made it look like a shot on an iPhone. Then we generated the actual images for leather jackets, e-commerce style in Midjourney as well. And then now we're going to basically see if they can try the clothes on. And this doesn't require any Photoshop, right?
exactly, this is fully AI. We haven't used anything that had to be done manually. Completely all from Midjourney. We started with a portrait painting looking image. I liked the image, but I wanted to have something more realistic. And we did this with the realistic looking style reference, and we had a character, and we also created the clothing in Midjourney. So now we're gonna see how it looks like. We
Let's
run,
try it. Let's try it on. Yeah. Let's get these clothes.
yeah, let's see.
Let's put some clothes on. So this is running on what they call Hugging Face. So Hugging Face hosts these models, ladies and gentlemen, online that people make. And so one of the models that are hosted for these types of things will allow you to try these clothes on so without doing all the Photoshop. And it sounds like you just basically the essence of this specific app is saying you give it the face or the portrait and then you give it the clothing and then it's basically going to do that for you. And it sounds like it could take like up to 40 seconds or so.
Yes, so there it is. We have the
What?
woman with the actual clothing that we created. So let's take a look back
Yes, I was going to say, let's take a
at
look at
the
the leather
leather
jacket.
jacket.
Oh my.
And
goodness.
it's very consistent. Yeah, it removed the cheese, unfortunately, but
Yes.
it's okay.
You could probably put it back on if you could bring it back into Midjourney, right? And then just kind of repeat this loop back over again.
Yes,
This
absolutely.
is
That's an awesome use
bonkers.
case. So you can download this and literally use this as a style reference and then re-prompt the cheese if you want to have it on here.
Yeah, you can even have her walking on the beach with this jacket and stuff and just start to get really creative with these scenes, right? So now that you have the clothes on with someone, you can then start generating different scenes that they're in. And so from a photography perspective, I'm thinking this is extremely massive. This is extremely massive if you're a clothing company. If you are a
Yes,
company doing
absolutely.
e-commerce and you have clothes, I would be looking to it into this ASAP. And I'm so glad I have you on this stream today to help us talk about this because I didn't realize it was that fast and that powerful. Oh my goodness. Whoa.
Yes, right. It literally just took us a few minutes. Keep in mind, you can also do this with your own product. So maybe if you have like a shop and you don't want to spend so much money or time on photo shootings, you can do this with your own, like literally your own products, and you just create your own characters in Midjourney. Now you know how to create them in a realistic way, so you can put them some beautiful clothes on.
That's amazing. Let's try Sam Altman. Let's go see if we can put some cool stuff on him.
Yes, yes. Come on, let's see. See Sam Altman here. I think this leather jacket looks really good on him.
Yeah, let's see that like really hardcore style and see. Dude,
To
that's
be
so
fair,
him. Yeah. But look at how
it
small
is
the
a
jacket
very,
is,
very
right? It looks like a
complicated
woman's
jacket.
jacket. It's nice and small. And like the dude, I don't even know how tall Sam Altman is. Like you could be some large dude. So I imagine it would just reshape it, right?
Yes, so it actually is very good at applying the garment size. It takes the personal image here, so the source image, as a reference. So even if you're bigger or very small, it should still be possible. Oh yeah, here. Awesome.
That's pretty bad. Ass. Whoa.
I
That's
think he looks
badass, dude.
good.
That is
I like that.
amazing. Oh my
I really
gosh.
like
And
that.
wait,
So
yeah, his
here's the
arms are
jacket.
crossed. Let's do Jensen, the guy
Yeah,
who does the Nvidia, because he already has leather jackets. That's already his vibe. He just does straight up black. So like, what if we kind of fit him out with this drip? Hey, let's make him
you're
drippy.
right.
Let's
You're
go.
right.
Let's go full drip. Yeah, Jensen full drip.
You're right. Yeah.
Here we go, dude. And then post it on Twitter. Like just like post those two screenshots. Like this plus this equals, because that is gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I've seen some funny images with him and a very interesting clothes on him. So,
Oh, like boudoir.
oh, there is.
That looks
Oh, this is
amazing.
amazing.
It.
I think that's my favorite one. Yeah.
Yo, I not gonna lie, this is like giving me the Lake Tahoe vibes. It's like, yo, he's at Lake Tahoe, and this is, the wilderness vibes. This is without Photoshop. Literally, like we've not touched
No,
Photoshop at all. We put just literally two images, next to each other, and then just said cook, and then it cooked.
that's it. Yes, we cooked. And this one is like a very complicated, a lot of patterns, different patterns. Most clothes doesn't even look that complicated. So, but this one still worked really, really good. And
Wow,
it almost captured most details. It applied it on the right size, right?
that's
And
right.
captured the details like shadows and lights. So what we can do now, actually, talking head avatars. And I think this is something that is very, very popular right now.
Wow,
If you want, manage to create your own character. Now you have applied your own style. You have applied your own clothes. Let's bring some motion and let's bring some animation. Let's talk a bit, and you can do the same with your own character. So this one
wow.
is loading. Um, while it's loading, I think it makes sense to go over to Hedera. Hedera.com is the app that I love to use for these talking head avatars because it's
Interesting.
very simple and still super effective.
Wow. So basically, we'll
So
we'll we'll have our character wearing that leather jacket, and then on top of that, they're going to actually be talking like an AI influencer. Everything you see in these videos where people are, t- You got to be
Yes,
kidding me. This is going to
yes,
be
exactly.
ridiculous. So I can take a picture of myself. I could put that leather jacket on. And then I could just like go into this Hedera thing and generate a me like moving my lips to something, and then I could just voice over it, and it just feels like
Yeah,
nobody.
yeah. No, no, not. Yeah, absolutely. And
This
it looks really good. Hedera is one of my favorite AI tools, and you will see why. You will see why. So here it is.
that's so good. Look at that image.
Downloaded it. So, oh, by the way, it's the same. So you just drag and drop, right?
Yeah.
Now you have your character in here,
Whoa.
and um, we just have to generate the audio. Now you have many ways here. You can upload an audio, you can do some voiceover, or you can use a text. So I'm gonna just choose um, AI voice. Hello and welcome to Ray's live stream.
No way. No way.
Generate
Oh
video.
my god. What are we doing in this world? This is going to get crazy. So we're about to cook an image and change it from an image that we saw. So just to start, if you're kind of just tuning in right now, literally we go generate an image from like a movie scene, generate a character, put them together, like blend the scene, then transform it to say, hey, like let's just make it look like it's shot on an iPhone. And then we go and say, hey, let's go ahead and generate some clothing for this person. And then we stitch them together like that. And so now she's wearing the clothing that looks like it's shot on an iPhone. And so now we're about to take it to the next level and basically have this person talk. And so let's just listen to this. I want to hear this. That's
Yes, absolutely.
crazy.
Let's see.
Hello and welcome to Ray's live stream.
This is also a
Oh,
very interesting way if you want to
wait.
show a face without recording.
Hold on. So what you're saying here is basically if there's this whole thing in the audio industry called audio drops or video drops. So celebrities will make videos of things and somebody pays them X amount of money. So they go to a recording studio and record a video of themselves saying, hey, Alicia, just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Hopefully you're having a fun, special day. So you're saying that they can actually do that, record themselves, or even just a photo of themselves, have all these prompts go in. So as people go in, they basically just send them out and they could just be making hundreds of thousands of dollars while they sleep, and it's going to generate an image of them. What? This?
That's an awesome use case actually. And yeah, I see sometimes some videos
No
from
way.
Hedera or some
No
AI
way.
user generated content. And you don't see at the first glance that it's AI, and it's now becoming even more difficult to see the difference because an AI video, an AI image, and an actual footage. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. That is absolutely insane. So this is to me this is a really big breakthrough. I feel like where we're at right now in generative AI technology, and where we were a year ago was already pretty mind-blowing to generate just images, right? That kind of looked real, but there was problems. There were like multiple fingers. There were things that were not right. You can look at it and tell that it was generated by AI because there was just inconsistency maybe in the details of the eyes, or maybe the lighting inconsistency, or the ear was bigger and the other one was smaller or something. Now, the images seem to be generated near like almost perfect, if you know what I mean. Like just the way that they look and then the styling, like they fixed a lot of those problems. But I feel like the biggest unlock that we're seeing here now is instead of using Photoshop, instead of requiring all these tools that you used to need before, you can just throw them in these image modeling like apps. And that will basically allow you as a user to take advantage of generating these AI images for your store, for if you're a celebrity, if you're doing like vocal stuff, if you want to repeat yourself, make videos, if you want to do AI influencing in your sleep, you can basically start doing that now, like already, or generate someone who can promote your product and then put them all over TikTok or whatever. And right now, if you do it, you're still kind of the first to this wave. It's not really common, but like you're saying, some of them look so real, you don't even know at some point, right? So I think that's going to be another interesting topic that we may have to like launch into in a whole nother discussion, because I feel like right now we're sort of in this golden age of untapping this exactly workflow that you're describing. And I've never seen anyone describe it in these exact steps and be able to go through from the very beginning to generate the images to where we are with the video. And so I want to see like how you do the Birkin bag thing, because I feel like these bags are just so hard to get. And the only way that people know about them is the fact that they're only promoted on social media. So like the company's, moat was just saying, hey, only the celebrities have them. And like the only way you can get a photo with them is if you know a celebrity. And if they even let you take a photo, they probably won't, So now everyone can have everything that they want, just by like taking a photo with it. And it's not even like a real bag, right? It just looks real. But let's go ahead and see if we could take a look at that, because I think you were showing me something like that.
Exactly. Yes. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because this is the next thing that I wanted to show you. So this platform here is called EverArt, EverArt.ai. And just a quick introduction what EverArt AI is. It is a platform where you can just train your own models with the Flux Lora. Flux is a new open source model by Black Forest Labs. So with a lot of people that worked previously in Stable Diffusion, what you can do here is, if you want to nail the consistency, like you want to get the maximum of consistency from an image, you can use actually these Flux Lora models to create consistent characters, consistent style, or consistent products, while still keeping it as realistic as possible. And I would like actually to show you how the Birkin bag looks. So this is the original image, right?
Wow.
This is the image of the Birkin bag, how you can buy it from the store. But if you're like me and you are like a lot of people and don't want to spend so much on a Birkin bag, you can just prompt your way in. And
yeah, I'm a broke boy, so like I'm not getting a Birkin bag anytime soon. Look at this. Dang.
Yeah, absolutely.
No way. Wow.
So one thing that you mentioned is the fingers, right?
Oh,
it's
that's right.
still a little bit cherry picking sometimes, but I think the Flux models really did a great job at fixing the problems. You don't struggle that much with these fingers anymore. Before it was like 3 out of 10 images looked acceptable. Now it's, I think, 10 out of 8 images look great.
Wow.
So you can use this.
Look at that. So she's taking a photo with her hand through the loop of the bag and like literally selfie style. And the bag, that is bonkers. And it's matching her clothing, her top.
Exactly. And one thing that I really like is even the level of details that you have in the product, because I trained a model on this product here, and when you compare it to the original, even the structure of the leather and how the details are in, maybe you still have to do some post editing, but just very, very rarely. So we have
you just throw it up on Instagram super quick. People are scrolling, they're just going to stop and be like, how did you get that bag? No, don't tell me you dropped. No way. Like,
yes.
So like a picture, like a celebrity, like, Kim Kardashian could be having this fancy bag that no one else has. And like 2 seconds later, you can go and generate that same bag with the photo of yourself. You're like, I also got the bag too. She's not so cool. Like, I'm cooler.
Exactly. Yes. No more gatekeeping.
No more gatekeeping. Yes. The age of AI is basically preventing any gatekeeping, right? So like the strategy that these that's just going to be a crazy topic that we'll have to launch into about, first AI generated images flooding the market, and then marketing strategies that these companies will have to pivot to, because they'll no longer have to gatekeep. There's like, that's not their moat anymore. So they can't just say, hey, we're just going to have these rare images with these celebrities. Like literally everyone's going to have images of your stuff, whether you like it or not. So as soon as anything is actually conceptible, like on the internet, it'll be everywhere almost instantly.
Yeah, probably. And I think one thing that is really amazing is that there are no barriers anymore to create these beautiful images, especially maybe if you're an entrepreneur or you have a shop or whatever.
Wow.
You can recreate a ton of amazing images based on your face, based on your style, or based on object. You can recreate them, you can change the clothes, you can put in some different styles applied to them, like I showed you on Midjourney. So there's so many different ways you can do and apply.
Wow. Wow. Absolutely bonkers. This is blowing my mind, ladies and gentlemen. And so if you haven't had a chance to, go ahead and follow my friend Alim Al-Rajihi. It's at Alim Al-Rajihi. You can see that down below there. And go give him a follow. On X is kind of where you're at as well. Where else could they find you?
Yeah, I'm on X, I'm on YouTube. These are my main platforms, both the same handles, Halim Al-Razihi on X and Halim Al-Razihi on YouTube. I share a lot of tutorials, a lot of workflows, and where you can find also some more inspiration like this here.
That's amazing because you even have like this video of like the Birkin bag there, like and
Oh
made by
yeah,
Ali.
made by
It's like,
Halim. Yeah, yeah.
dude, that's
That's
insane.
really
That is absolutely insane. You know, and so if you want to learn more about this, definitely hit up your boy Alim. And I'm learning a lot just by following you on X and seeing all the stuff that you're posting. And I always thought that it was much harder than it looks because it's like, oh yeah, that requires Photoshop or that requires all these different apps. But just in this one session, we're able to kind of knock that out like super fast, and we're kind of explaining it. So my goal today is that if you're watching this and you were able to kind of get some of this and get inspired, please go ahead and go build, go try these things out. I think we're at a time right now where the technology is just being widely available and much easier. So Midjourney is the biggest example of moving from a Discord thing, which required typing in all these things, to now being very visual, selecting these types of things. So I want to continue on in this, and I want to maybe launch into a second interview much later on and bring you back on the show, Alim, because it's just been really amazing pleasure for you to demonstrate this to me as an expert who's doing this stuff. But then the mind-changing economics that are going to happen from here going forward, like the biggest breakthroughs that you can. So if you're a designer, if you're a developer, if you're an engineer building products, think about having something like this in your bag to throw into your demo apps. This is going to be super powerful if you make an app, if you make a demo of a store. If you can go up to a company and say, hey, I put your product on all these different things and with these cool models and stuff, and I made these fun videos with people interacting, that will just be mind-blowing and people will instantly want to work with you. And I think that's the biggest gap that you can have right now, and it's currently available for you today using all these tools. So we'll have those resources linked up in the videos. It's such a great pleasure talking with you today, Alim. And thank you for sharing your knowledge and your wisdom. And I'm really excited to have you back on. This has just been a really amazing show. Any last words that you want to share with anyone?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your kind words. I had a lot of fun today, so I'm also looking forward to do some more exciting workflows and tutorials. You know, there's always so much going on in the world of AI. And yeah, last words, go also to Ray and hit the like and subscribe button so that you don't miss any more live videos like these.
Definitely. Yeah, thank you so much. This was an amazing show, and hopefully you found some value, and definitely hit that like, subscribe, share with a friend who you think will benefit from this. This is super important to spread to the community, and definitely appreciate your support. All of this is free. We're doing this out of love and are wanting to share this with you because we feel that this is an amazing time to be alive and to create, to be a free spirit, and go ahead and dream on. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch y'all later. Peace.